Last week was huge for the Cleveland Browns. All right, they got that win. They keep the season while on life support alive for right now. This week now becomes the most important week of the season for the team. With the trade deadline right around the corner, can you get a win to maybe change how Andrew Berry is going to approach it? I'm already seeing stuff this morning. The Patriots beat the Jets, and now they want to be buyers. They want to say, all right, let's see what we can get here moving forward. Are the Browns of the same thing? Or does Andrew Berry stay on that track? We got to do the right thing for the future of this franchise. We'll talk to Noah Weiskopf about that coming up in just a couple of minutes here on the show. Cavs! Welcome back, an old friend that might become a new friend one day. Ryan Tyler is a man of conviction. And there is one thing, maybe above all, that he believes in this world, and it has to do with a guy who's coming to town tonight with his son to play the Cavs tonight. We'll get some wine and gold coming up on that. We got the bracket, which is very hot and heavy on your favorite Halloween candy. We'll get to time up. Maybe we should have Noah do that. I say that every week. Noah needs to help us with the grid. Yesterday
you just
was
need to
an
stop making up fake people that play for teams.
Abysmal attempt on the grid. We'll get back to that. We got the morning update and trades aplenty around the NFL. We got it all for you right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. Hey, is Ryan Tyler. Good morning. Happy to have you alongside on Twitter X at Matt Fontana Show. Check out our YouTube and Instagram pages at Big Play Network and the brand spanking new Big Play. When can I stop saying it's brand new? It's been out for about a month. Still new, right?
Yeah, Q1 next year.
Q1 next year. I'm going to stop saying that. It's new, but it's out there for you to download. Noah Weiskopf joins us, as always, on Wednesday. No, before anything, our bracket's your favorite Halloween candy. Your vote would go where?
See, I haven't seen the bracket, but I assume everything's in there. I'm a big Three Musketeer guy.
It is in there. It is in. I think that goes today, if I'm not mistaken.
Noah, candy corn, thoughts?
Yeah.
Pass.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. We put it in there because somebody, apparently Gab loves it. Gab Cruz loves it, so we put it in there mostly for her. Candy corn is trash, though, so we can all agree on that. Noah, last week with the Browns, so much to take away from that game. And, you know, I want to talk trade deadline stuff with you in a second, but just off of that game, is it as simple to say putting Jameis Winston in there fixed everything with the offensive line back, with Ken Dorsey calling plays? I guess specifically in the offense, what was your biggest takeaway from that win over the Ravens?
The biggest takeaway was absolutely the offensive line. I don't think it was Jameis. To me, that was pretty expected. We knew what he was going to do. He was going to go out there and sling the ball around. I think the offensive line to me was most surprising. They allowed Jameis Winston the most time to throw of any quarterback since 2018 with, I think, 4.23 seconds. In 2018, the last quarterback to have that much time or close to that was Justin Fields, who had 4.0 something seconds. So still a little bit of a difference there, but he had the most time to throw any quarterback since 2018. And also, I will halt everyone's momentum a little bit. The Ravens are the dead last team in passing defense, and we're without their top two corners. I think that shows a little bit. But overall, you knew what Jameis was going to give you, and he certainly gave you that.
Where do you think they go? Right now, obviously, they're not trading Jameis. There's no way that's going to happen. Noah, I live in a world, keep him here. You'll pick up a couple of more wins, get to the offseason, got to re-sign him. He's on the one-year deal. But Noah, I like him as a bridge guy, or even if, I know it's crazy to say, if they don't draft a quarterback, start Jameis, go find another one in 2026 draft. You know, there's such a long road here to go. But I'm really opening, it's just one game, but I'm really opening my mind that Jameis, he actually could be a big solution for this team, I think, in patching this together. What do you think Jameis's future with the Browns is?
Well, here's the complicated part is that if you do draft a quarterback, what are you doing with Deshaun Watson at that point? It's really complicated because his contract is you really cannot just waive him or cut him. You cannot do it. So they are going to need to figure something out. And I think there's a realistic chance that he's on this team moving forward. Now, I don't know if he's the starter. He might be the second string, the third string, or the Browns might be in a situation where they just have to keep him on the roster no matter what and let him rehab all of next year because of that contract. I think if they cut him, it's like $172 million in dead cap. I mean, you cannot do it. So I think that Jameis Winston, we knew what he was, right? Like, this is the same Flacco-esque type of gameplay that you're going to get for the rest of the season. And I think it has a lot to do with Kevin Stefanski and his scheme, dumbing it down again, getting under center. And they just didn't do that with Watson. They had developed this scheme with him, with Ken Dorsey, to make this offense more explosive, and it just didn't work. So now that they're going back to what they did last year, it's working again. But yes, I think that Jameis Winston is that veteran-type quarterback to be able to remain on a team and be a bridge quarterback or what that might be. But again, I don't see a world in which they draft a quarterback because they're going to then have Deshaun on that roster, potentially Jameis Winston and a rookie quarterback. It's just a lot going on.
Talk Browns with Noah Weisskopf. Follow him on Twitter, Browns with Noah. Also the Instagram side of things from the OBR. To another guy that seems like a sunk cost at this point, Jed Wills. And like DeJuan, again, one game. I know he hadn't played there since like his sophomore year. He's only had like 100 career snaps in college at left tackle. He looked all right. Now, again, the pass rush, we talked about the Ravens' pass defense being so bad. They have some all right pass rushers, but the O-line played well. Are you ready just to rubber stamp this and let DeJuan play that out and just kind of say, dude, Jed just can't get on the field. We can't keep putting him out there, keep twisting guys in and out. That's my thing, Noah. It's like, all right, go to this guy 1 week, and then we're back to Jed Wills. I'm ready just to say, man, you're injured. It sucks, but we're just going to ride this out with DeJuan Jones for the while now.
Yeah, I think that it's probably his spot right now, especially with the way that offensive line unit played. Getting Wyatt Teller back, I think, was huge. But yeah, I don't think you can mess that up, especially with the stat we just talked about of having the most time to throw since 2018. You cannot mess that up. I mean, those were historic numbers. So you got to keep that going and ride that out. But yeah, with Jed, I don't know where he fits in this puzzle. I think that there's probably going to be maybe a couple other offensive line moves into the offseason. And you might see a couple new guys there next year, but yeah, I don't see where he fits in this puzzle right now.
Can I ask, and I want to talk trades, we'll talk Zadarius Smith here in a second, but just Jed, could you get him some conditional 7? Do you think anybody would come call for Jed Wills next week?
I think that there might be a team that's be willing to move and take him, but I just don't know if the Browns, I don't think that they would just take anything. I think that they have a price that they would need to have met, and I don't think a team would probably meet that price, I think is where it gets a little tricky. And
we know offensive line banged up and, 2 snaps, he might be back in the game. You need him at some point. So the other injuries, great to see Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah out of the hospital. Just real quick on him. Do you think there's a chance he plays this weekend? We got the bye. It's probably a safe bet he doesn't play, right?
I would imagine not, especially with the, scare that was. Now, I don't know the details. I think it'll be safer once we know today if he practiced. I imagine he won't, but if he somehow is limited or is practicing, then yeah, I think he's good to go. But yeah, scary situation. I know you'll probably hit on it, but Denzel Ward, I think, is the one that's much more cloudy. Mm-hmm. His 6th concussion is really scary stuff. And I think there is a world in which the Browns advise him to shut it down for the rest of the season. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I don't know if those conversations have been had, but I do think that would make a lot of sense, especially starting off the season the way they did, to just tell him that just take the rest of the season and get back right. But yeah, 6 concussions is pretty scary.
I think it's on the forefront, obviously, with Tua, where that's a whole situation. And I think the scary thing, though, which, again, we're all in this situation. Denzel's a grown man, and I know he's going to take all the medical advice, and that's his decision. Whatever he chooses to do, we all love Denzel. He's a Northeast Ohio guy. He's a great player. I just want the best for him. But the stuff that, the Tua comparison I was going to make is that stuff is traumatic. When you see Tua laying on the field, and he's stiff, and he's out. Denzel, it happens and then you walk off, so it doesn't, I don't even think, register with people. Like, it's still a concussion. I'm not saying that, I know there's varying levels of it, but it's like when you see that stuff with Tua, that hits a little harder. When I tell people the silent ones are just as dangerous, or the ones that he just gets pulled off by the independent neurologist, those are just as dangerous. And as you said, they just keep mounting and they keep going. No, has it not been at least 3 straight years that he's had a concussion and had to miss time? It's a scary situation. And for the Browns, just strictly from an X's and O's standpoint, he's your second most important defender. Only behind Myles Garrett, plays a premium position in the league. I hate that situation for him. I really do.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And we talk about the 6 that have been known, right? Like how many does he have that he hasn't been evaluated for a concussion by the neurologist or the team personnel? Like there's a lot in this situation. And yeah, he could have, 5 more that have been undiagnosed going back to college and his pro career. So you really don't know. And he's 27 years old, right? Like you have to be smart with this. There's a lot more on the line than the rest of the season and his football career.
No, to the trade deadline coming up, Zadarius Smith is the easy name for a lot of people when I click on Fitz or that. And I do think this weekend is going to tell a big story on if you can beat the Chargers, maybe that price goes up. Maybe Andrew Berry says, I got to stick to my guns on this, knowing that going into this game, we have a 4% chance to make the playoffs. He's got to make the right moves. What are you hearing around the trade deadline? Dan Graziano said a decent day 3 pick might get Zadarius out of here. What are you hearing surrounding him? Maybe Greg Newsome, anybody else with the Browns on the trade deadline?
I think that an early day 3 pick would probably make sense. And if a team came across with that, then I don't think that they would hesitate to move on from him. But I do think that this weekend is significant. I think that I know our guy Jack Duffin had a tweet of if they win and the Vikings beat the Colts, then the Browns are 1 game out of the wild card spot. So it's like, are you really out of it? And then if you win this weekend, then it's really a matter of like, can we really make a run here? And in that case, you'll need guys like that. They came up big. And yeah, I think that if a team comes with the right offer, especially right now, I think the Browns would take it, but I don't think that they're going to, negotiate and want to move back. And I mean, they're going to stick to what they want. If they get it, they get it. If not, they'll see what happens this weekend. In terms of Greg Newsome, I haven't heard anything materializing on that end. I think that will probably be one that might pick up some steam after the season. But we'll see on him for sure. But yeah, I think Quentin Jefferson's another name that I would be surprised, honestly, if he was on this roster based on his healthy inactives and the situation there. So I think that he's a guy that's most likely to be moved. Zadarius Smith potentially, Greg Newsome probably not, but there's always a chance.
Noah, bringing it back to the offensive line real quick. I know we talked about how good they were Sunday, and I understand you got Wyatt Teller back. I understand DeJuan Jones had a good game in his first start at left tackle. But in your opinion, I mean, how much do you attribute it to the fact of they played well because they weren't blocking for Deshaun Watson? They were blocking for Jameis Winston, a guy who wasn't bailing out of clean pockets, a guy that they understand they know where Jameis is. They have a better feel for where he is in the pocket versus Deshaun, who likes to get out of it. I know it's not all that, but in your opinion, how much do you attribute it to the fact that maybe it's a little bit easier to block for Jameis Winston than it is Deshaun Watson?
I think it's all a factor. I think especially when you get a guy under center and then the play action game and getting into a rhythm and getting the ball out quick, like that's what it should look like. It should not be a matter of if the offensive line can block these guys for 4 seconds every single play. Now, where there's some plays where your first and second read aren't there and you got to look somewhere else and you need a little extra time. Yes, the offensive line was there for that. But I think Jameis did a really nice job of getting back there, taking his drop, and then delivering the football in a very timely manner, which I think helped the offensive line quite a bit. And I don't think Deshaun had done that a lot, especially dropping back into the shotgun. He was worried and looking at the defensive line to make sure he wasn't getting rushed out of there. Jameis was in there getting the ball out quick and making decisive decisions.
No, when you look around the league and Deontay Johnson moved, it just seems like there's been wide receiver move after wide receiver move. And it's like I don't say a paradox for me, but it's interesting because there's so many receivers that come out in the draft now. There's so much young talent. These guys are basically, factories turning out receivers, yet there's still a want for all these veteran guys. It's a bit of a loaded question, but I want to ask, do you think wide receiver is now the second most important position in football? Nothing will ever unseat the quarterback, which I get, but edge rusher, corner, it's just how guys are getting paid and the want to trade from. Do you think wide receiver is now number 2 in the NFL most important position to have?
I don't know about number 2, but it's definitely important. And you're seeing guys like Jerry Jeudy, who basically was sent out of Denver because he just didn't make sense there and he couldn't get going. And then you come here and there's a game where he has 1 catch, there's a game where he has no catches, and then there's a game where he has whatever he had this past weekend. I can't remember his stat line, but he had a great game. And like Elijah Moore hadn't had a good game, and then you start giving him the ball and all of a sudden they're making plays, right? Like Cedric Tillman, another prime example. He's been on fire these past 2 weeks. I think that there are so many good wide receivers that I don't know if I'd say it's the second most important position, but it's absolutely up there. And these guys are all talented. It's just a matter of getting them involved. If they're in that game plan, I mean, DeAndre Hopkins had 2 catches. We know how good he is for the Chiefs, and how we'll see if he's able to, get more targets and catches and touchdowns in the following weeks. But yeah, there are so many good wide receivers, whether they're young, whether they're aging, whether they're proven, whether they're right in their prime. I mean, there's so many good. I mean, you look at Calvin Austin for the Steelers, right?
Like,
he's making an impact, right? And it's just like there's so many guys that are talented at that position.
Real quick note before we get you out of here. We know you do great work with the Browns, but you also do great work for the Buckeyes. I need your score prediction, Ohio State, Penn State. And if they do lose, I mean, we know that Ryan Day is officially cooked, right?
To James Franklin, right? No, come on.
I wouldn't rubber stamp it, Matt. I wouldn't rubber stamp it.
No, I can't stand him. Drew Aller's giving him a game-time decision, right? No, who knows?
Maybe that's just some mind games. That's kind of the vibe I've been getting. A game-time decision. He might practice Tuesday, I think they're just playing some mind games there. Score prediction.
Well, let me ask you, are you confident in Ohio State to win? Okay.
I'm not 100% confident that they will win that game. I think Penn State's offense is much better than it's been with their new OC there. I know that Chip Kelly talked yesterday about a lot of eye candy. They're a different offense than they've had in the past. Aller's a pretty good quarterback, no matter what anyone says. Their defense. And what really scares me is Abdul Carter on the edge there against the uncertainty at the tackle position for Ohio State. Zen Mikowski, I don't know if he'll be able to go, but that is what really, really scares me. I think if they lose, then he takes over that game. But I think Ohio State will win, but I'm so cautiously optimistic because I do think Penn State's a good team. This is going to be an insane environment. And I think they've got a chance. And I know I've seen people already in Columbus picking Penn State to win this game by a touchdown. It's going to be a phenomenal game. And I will say, if they do win, I don't necessarily think that means Ryan Day is gone, especially right off the bat. It's a very loaded question to see if he's gone. But if they lose, I don't think Ryan Day is necessarily gone.
Ryan just knows how to fire me up. I'm a bit of a Ryan Day apologist here, Noah, and I would just I'll say this to you and both of you guys sitting right here. James Franklin is a choke artist. And even if they're at home, I think that actually makes it worse for him. So we'll see how it goes. No, we'll talk to you next week. Trade deadline will be in the books. And of course, we'll revisit our Ohio State, Penn State predictions. Browns know it's Twitter, Instagram, OBR. Always appreciate it, man. I'll talk to you next week.
Thanks. Let's do it.
There he goes. Noah Weiskopf. James Franklin is a choke artist, guys. That's what he does. All right. And I go back to something that Bo Bishop said about Ohio State, and I've taken this with me from Bo. Sometimes playing at home can actually be more suffocating than when you're on the road in a big game. Because if Ohio State gets out to a lead or big things happen, those fans come down on you, man. It can be suffocating to play at home. I'm just going to go ahead and go in that James Franklin will choke this one away. Mark my words.
If Ohio State loses to Penn State, are they officially cooked? I don't think they're cooked for the playoff. I don't think
they're cooked. What you need then is...
let's be real. If Ohio State loses to Penn State, they don't deserve to be in the playoff.
Well, then, no.
Yes, no. I understand the new format. I understand the new format.
Have some upset to Northern Illinois, Matt, all right? They're the number 3 team in the country.
Matt, you are now officially, you lost to Oregon, clearly the best team in the Big Ten.
Who's now number 1?
You're going if you lose to Penn State, what now? You're the 3rd best team in the Big Ten?
Let's play this out of this.
Does the Big Ten deserve 3 teams? I guess maybe.
The SEC deserves 3. We deserve 3. I could listen to 4 and 4 to be honest with you, but if you play it out this way, here's what you don't like, as I know you're not an Ohio State fan, but if you're an Ohio State fan, let's say they lose Saturday, right?
Okay.
You then have to play Penn State runs the table. They still have to play Oregon. You actually hope Penn State loses that.
Yeah.
Then they go to the Big Ten championship game against Oregon. Or at least maybe we can open the door for Ohio State. They wouldn't make it. I guess you're playing it out. You almost need Oregon to run the table. Well, you want to know what? You'd almost need Penn State to beat Oregon.
Listen, you don't.
They both have one loss. You go to the Big Ten champion, one of those 2 win, and you could talk your way into. I don't like it. I'm not saying that you're a lock if you lose 100%, but you would just look at it and say you lost to a team that in that game was what, the number 3 ranked team in the country. You lost twice, right? Oregon was 3 when we played them, right? Or were they 4? Whatever.
One or the other.
They were top 5.
Yes.
And then you would lose again to Penn State as a top 5 team. I'd let them in.
Boo.
I'd let them in.
The craziest part is Penn State damn near lost to Bowling Green earlier.
That's what I'm saying. Ohio State doesn't have, well, Nebraska.
Almost lost to Nebraska.
I know. But it's at least a Big Ten. It's not Northern Illinois. No offense to the MAC. It's not Bowling Green, okay? That wasn't their shot. They went up against Oregon. And again, because they created this committee for this reason, the committee could read into it the penalty that is now not possible to do anymore. And if Will Howard would have just got, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Jaden Fielding would have had to make the kick. I get it. I'm not saying Dan Lanning cheated. He didn't. He exploited a loophole. That loophole is now closed. That game goes differently today. If they played that game exactly how it was on Saturday versus 3 weeks ago, that ain't happening. Right? It happened. I'm not saying that it didn't, but that's got to frame a little change in this committee's mind. Do not ever forget, they created the committee so they can do what the hell they want. Do you know what they want, Ryan?
No, trust me,
Ohio State in the playoff.
I understand.
Do you know what they can do?
I know, man.
Put Ohio State in the playoff.
I understand that.
That's it. Ohio State's just got to meet them at the 50-yard line, and they'll put them in. That's what they want, and that's what they're probably going to get.
What if you lose to Michigan again?
Dude, Michigan is so bad right now. No, that's not happening.
Okay.
And I think Ohio State's going to win Saturday. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout, but I think they're going to win Saturday.
Okay.
Now, from one confidence to another, it's tonight's Cavs 4.5-point home favorites over the Lakers. I don't like the spread for tonight. We will get to a parlay. I got a lock for the parlay.
I'm sure you do.
You know I do. You want to know what it is?
Sure.
Dean Wade 3. He had a bad game. He only had the 1 point.
Just 1 3?
Just one. That's all I need.
Okay.
Just one. Add that in. You know LeBron's getting 20 tonight. He ain't coming back here not scoring 20. So those are 2 legs we're putting in already for our parlay tonight. LeBron to score 20. Dean Wade to hit a 3. He's back in town tonight, though. And I want to talk about the whole Bronny situation because obviously that's kind of on the forefront. People want to make this nepotism and all that. Who cares? And I love a tweet from Brian Winters a couple of weeks ago. That pick of Bronny, just look at that pick as an energizer for LeBron James. Don't look at it as, well, is Bronny actually going to contribute or is he a rotational guy? Look at that as they spent the 55th pick overall to motivate LeBron James. Pick well spent. And I think it's really cool that they'll be back here tonight. We all go back to the pictures of Bronny on the floor with his dad, you know, early in his career, making his debut, all that stuff. I love it. I think it's great. Now, young Ryan over there, you have been steadfast on this.
Yes, I have.
You think LeBron's coming back one day.
I do.
Post that as our Twitter question.
On a 1-year deal? Are you kidding me?
Do you think LeBron... I wanted to say, do you think there's a chance? And I don't like that because there's a chance for anything.
It's straight up. Do you think
LeBron will ever come back to the Cavs? Do you ever think that he would want to just bookend his career and finish it on out with the Cavs? Now, there's a lot to unpack with that.
Can I just put this? Do you believe LeBron James will end his career? Well, I don't want to say it because they're going to be like, oh, 1-day contract.
No, yeah, not that. Do you think LeBron will ever come back and play for the Cavs? Do you think he'll ever come back and play for the Cavs again? And you got to put the question up because I really want you to almost go first on this.
Okay.
Because you've always said this, you've always felt this, and I want you to start with all the reasons why you think that's going to happen. So go post that at Matt Fontana Show on Twitter X. Drop us a follow there. Whenever we get the grid again, you'll want to be following because we'll have a giveaway there.
Yeah, if we ever get one.
Angry. We'll get back on it today. All right, go ahead, lay it out. You feel
let me retweet this poll.
Okay, go redo it. You got to get all the social channels we got here.
Yeah, I do believe he's going to come back.
I know you do. You've always said that. You've never even wavered. I've never been able to talk you off of that ledge about LeBron.
Because sometimes, Matt,
there's a cosmic force at this.
Life is like a
fate?
movie. Listen, fairy tales happen. Like, okay,
sometimes, sure.
LeBron, and let me get this. He is about to be he'll be 40. He'll be 40.
Season.
Okay.
Isn't
let me
like before New Year's or something
before
like that?
we talk about December 30th.
Yeah.
Same birthday as Nick Pidone, I believe.
There's somebody else, Tiger. Him and Tiger, I think, share.
Two goats.
3. Sell Pidone short over
Oh, I was talking about him and James. I thought
Okay, not Tiger.
no, Jack Nicklaus.
Oh.
According to Bruce, not me. Let me ask
Bruce
you this.
has always felt that way.
Let me ask you this. Okay, before we talk about it.
Sure.
In your mind, how many more seasons do you see LeBron playing in the NBA?
I only think
because that's the whole because what this is based off
it's
of.
the crux of the argument.
Yes, this is the entire point of it.
I will give you 2 more
Guaranteed?
after this season.
Like 2 more guaranteed. After
I will
the
say
season?
this season, then 2 more. Here's my reasoning behind that. One of those seasons will be I'm playing in 43 games. I'm not doing back. He's not there yet, which is just incredible. He's 39 years old, and he has a goal this season of playing in all 82 games. Now, is he quite the same player that he was? No, but he's still pretty damn good, right? So if you give me this year as a full season, he's a full-time player, great. Then I'll give you another season where you maybe throttle it back a little bit. And then I'll give you, I'm going to say dummy season, but I can't think of a better word, of like, I'm going to play in 43 games and then I'll show up for the playoffs.
Okay, so LeBron.
Because, last thing, sorry.
No, please. We can talk about this the rest of the show.
Because I also have a strong conviction LeBron is going to walk away before he becomes what we don't want him to be. Nobody wants to see LeBron out there hamming it up and down the court. He doesn't want to do that.
But that's the funny part, Matt, is because Michael Jordan would have been that 4 years ago at this point in LeBron's career, but LeBron could do this for another 4 or 5 years and still be a top 50 player in the NBA.
Yes, very different, 100%. So I will give you 2 more seasons on the max, I think. He ain't playing in this league when he's 43, right? No. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll give you 2 more after this year, okay?
2 more after this year.
After this season.
Okay.
You'll play this season,
yes.
1 more, and then I think 1 more where he would kind of maybe throttle it back.
So LeBron after this season, I believe, right? I'm correct, can opt out again.
Correct. He's got that like 1-and-1 deal.
Right. That's
yes.
the LeBron special
yes.
we know and love.
Yes.
And okay, so now let's talk about LeBron has played with Bronny.
Yes.
We know Bronny after this stint is going to go to the G
right.
League.
So on that little interesting note on that, he's on this trip. The G League starts next week.
Right.
And they sent a couple of guys to the Lakers G League affiliate. Bronny wasn't one of them. So he came on this trip. Let's call it for what it is because they want him to play tonight. He's going to play a couple of minutes tonight. That's going to happen.
So now that this LeBron-Bronny together is essentially, listen, it was great. It's done.
Yes,
it's going to be
check it off
correct?
the list. Yes.
So what at this point do you think is LeBron's next goal, if you will?
I mean, he just wants to win another championship.
Correct.
I think that's the end of the day. He wants to win a championship.
Right, and I would agree with that.
Yes.
And I think that would make the most sense. Now, in your opinion, okay, where is LeBron's best chance to win a championship? Would it be LA or Cleveland?
I mean, you see how the Lakers have started this year. They've done a lot of retooling. It's still
actually, Matt, before we go into this, let me ask you this, because I believe you're under this presumption, and I would agree with this, that LeBron will either end his career as a Laker or a Cavalier.
That's a great point. You and I agree with that. I don't think he wants to go to a 4th team. I think it's nice and concise. Cleveland, Miami, Cleveland, Lakers. I agree with you on that. I don't think he wants to join some 4th team. Off of that, for him to have the goal of winning a championship and then joining a 4th team, that would then also be like, I'm joining Giannis's team, or I'm just throwing out good teams. I'm joining Luka. I'm joining Joel Embiid. I'm joining Jason Tatum. We know that's never going to happen. But like, he comes back to Cleveland. It can still kind of be his thing. While it's still kind of Donovan Mitchell's thing, you and I agree on that. I don't think he's going anywhere else.
Okay, so then if you're LeBron and you're focused on winning another ring while you still can, right? Then okay, let's talk about this now before we get further into it. What's a better situation for him next season? Would it be LA or would it be Cleveland to win a championship?
Right.
This is dependent on, I assume, how LA looks this year and finishes,
and maybe what the Cavs do with some things. And trust me, everybody's screaming probably in the YouTube chat. We'll get to the giant reason why it might not work.
Yes, money. I understand.
Dollar. I get it. But let's set that aside for right now. The Lakers are off to a good start. And they've had to retool some things under it's LeBron and AD. This is going to have to work with LeBron and AD. And I just keep going back to when they interviewed D'Angelo Russell at Media Day. And he goes, well, didn't think I'd be here, but here I am, you know? Like, they're a good team. They're solid. The Cavs are a really good team. I'll give you some ammo here. Do you really want to be playing in the West right now? Now, I say that, and then I stop myself. East is kind of balanced out. Whatever you think of Paul George, what you think of what the Knicks have done, if you think the Bucks are coming back, just getting healthy, it's not quite that seismic shift that it used to be, where even when LeBron and, we were facing the Warriors and stuff, he cakewalked through the East because the East was ass. They weren't good. Everything was in the West. Then I think over the last couple of years, the West has been very tilted. You've had, if you really want to do like the top 10 players, probably 7 of them play in the West. Best teams, probably in the West. I do think this year it is more balanced.
Sure.
Where it's not quite the easy path. So if you're talking not only about what the team could offer, you got to take into account what's your path to get there. I don't know if there's a quite easy answer on that.
And if you're LeBron, you've been in movies, you've been in commercials, you went to LA and you kind of entered this mogul stage of your career, right?
Sure.
It was your final chapter. You got the ring in 2020. You can call it a Mickey Mouse ring if you want. Whatever. You got the ring.
Somebody said that. Some Boston person said that, but yeah. Okay, sorry.
The ultimate storyline, and let me ask you this. I think LeBron would want to finish his career on the highest of high notes, and that's winning a championship and riding off into the sunset.
I could see that.
And what better storyline is it than you come back to Cleveland, you give them another ring, you don't even have to play 50 games.
Yeah.
You could sit on the bench and Cleveland would adore you. They'd be putting the crown on your head.
But he ain't doing that.
You enter zero dark 30 mode in the playoffs, you give Cleveland another championship.
At least for the playoffs.
What's a better, that's a fairy tale come true for LeBron.
The thing is LeBron now content? Only he can answer that question.
But the answer is no.
But
Tom
I think
Brady
he's a winner. He's a competitive person. He wants to strive forward and win another championship. And I want to put this in the evil, so I'm not even going to say it. But imagine his career ended tomorrow. And he's done. I would sit there and I would imagine that he would sit back. How could you not? And say, I did it all. Well, I'm the all-time leading scorer. I got to play with my son. I ended the drought in Cleveland. I did it all. So it's like if that drive is still there to catch MJ, which he still needs 2 more to do that, and I don't think that's happening. But I guess you just got to ask, what's your level of how far do you want to get into that? Are you willing to do it all to try? Now, the Cavs might present that better option. It would.
100%.
Anything else you want to bring up on your side? Ryan is all in. Our Twitter question this morning, I'm going to retweet it too. Do you think will LeBron ever come back to the Cavs?
To me, it's just
Ryan has always felt, yes, he's laying out. I wanted him to go first because I wanted him to lay out the reasons why he thinks so.
To me, listen, he's been a Laker damn near as long as he's been a Laker more than he was with the Heat, of course.
More with the Heat, yes.
And he's damn near, already this is year what with the Lakers? Year 8? 7, 8?
Well, 2018. Yeah. I think, 18, 19, 19, 20, 20, 21, 21, 22, 23, 24, this is 24, 25.
6.
So this is 6th season there.
Okay.
And he played 13 here.
Yeah.
So he ain't getting there.
Okay.
He ain't getting there.
I just, is this me wanting LeBron more than it could possibly happen? Yes. But do I believe it could happen? Of course I do.
Yeah,
and if I'm LeBron,
yeah.
You're at the point of your career, like you said, you've done everything. Just come back home.
And I'm understanding where you're coming from. All right. To our Twitter question this morning, which is already a runaway.
Yeah.
I'm voting no. And I just don't think so. Okay? Let's start with the money. All right? And I'm actually going to give you ammo on your side of things, okay?
To me, it comes down to the Cavs give him a much better chance to win a ring.
Sure. Let's talk money, all right? He is a max player.
Yeah.
He will not be signing 3- and 4-year deals anymore. I think he frankly likes the flexibility, and he doesn't need the money. What does that say, though, if he came to a Cavs team and signed a below... You can't restructure deals in the like the NFL, right? let's say he came here and took a below market deal. That below market deal is still $30 million.
Okay.
Now, the other side of that would be the players union hates that. Because when top players don't sign top contracts, that doesn't help everybody else, right? There's one person that could tell them, shut the hell up. I've done more for this league and more for these players than, frankly, I don't say maybe anybody, because you talk about Bill Russell, you talk about some of the greats, but in just the last 15 years, right? Nobody has done more for the players in the NBA than LeBron. With the deals that he signed, with the marketing that he has had, he could sit there and say, you guys owe me one here, and this is what I want to do. So there would be one person that would allow to have that pass, so to speak, and not sign a max deal and do, frankly, what he wants to do, right, moving forward. Then you talk about him leaving L.A. I've always felt like he was going to L.A., and that's why when he left in 2018, I had dude, I thank you so much, and I wish you well out there. That's always what he wanted to do. He's now made his home there. His kids go to school there. You're right. He's got all these other things going on. And I get that he jet sets and he does all this other kind of stuff. But I go back to one other thing. He mentioned this when he got to play with Bronny in that opener, where he said, I've dedicated a lot of my life to this game. And he was talking specifically about Bronny. But let's talk about Bryce. Let's talk about Zuri. He said, I missed a lot of things for this guy. I wasn't there for some of the stuff because I was doing, playing basketball in my career. Does he really want to sign back up for that? Leaving L.A., where his kids are and his wife. And maybe they'd come back to Cleveland, and maybe that would be a joyous thing of Bryce playing. Well, he's in college now, isn't he? Or 1 year to go, I think, or something like that in high school.
Yeah, I would have known if he committed somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think he did yet. Maybe he goes and plays for the Buckeyes. I don't know. Like all that is the dream that you might have, but I don't know if he wants to just leave L.A. where everything is all set up as well.
What if Bryce commits to the Buckeyes?
That's what I'm saying.
That's
what if he went to Ohio State?
It's all adding up.
Bronny
to me, I just feel like a guy like LeBron loves the headlines. He loves a storyline. That would literally be a magical fairy tale.
But yes, you're right. And then let's
the return part 2.
Cut right to it. And you're going to yell at me when I say this.
Okay.
But I'm going to say it anyway. Are the Cavs better with LeBron?
Yes.
Okay.
100% any team's better.
Okay. I know he's a great player. You're not adding him to this core. The core is getting broken up.
Sure. Jarrett and Darius.
And here's the thing. That might happen anyway. They might trade Jarrett Allen. It doesn't look that way right now, which I understand. That might get broken up already. But I kind of got a good thing cooking. And talking about me, I was so content when I turned that page. I don't really need to go back and reread that chapter. Now, you would tell me what? LeBron would increase your chances to win a championship, would he not?
Yes.
And my ultimate goal, LeBron or not, is to win another championship.
Correct.
That's it. So if you told me unequivocally, and the answer is probably yes, that LeBron helps you and gets you closer to that, how could he not? He's the greatest player to ever play, generation, all that. Which I was going to say, and you're probably going to be on the hook for him when he's 42.
You're winning a championship if you have a full, healthy season of Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, and LeBron James.
Theirs would be the two that stay, right?
Yeah.
Then it also comes back to the want of LeBron. Does he want to revisit this whole Cleveland thing? I think he left here with a nice, neat, easy bow on top of that package. You won it. You buried the hatchet with Dan Gilbert. You can't forget him, too, about the money that he's willing to spend, going to luxury tax and do whatever's needed there. Does he want to do that for LeBron again? You got to remember these guys. I don't mean to bring up the whole LeBron-Dan Gilbert beef, which I think was buried. Does Dan Gilbert really want to win another championship due to LeBron? I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm just bringing all these things up as points as we discuss this, right? There's a lot more at that play. Does LeBron want to revisit the Cavs situation?
Let me see this. Do you think Dan Gilbert would ever sell the Cavs in the next?
I don't think so.
No.
Do
you think LeBron would be interested in being an owner?
Oh, he's going to be an owner. He's going to be an owner 100%.
But you don't think
here's the thing, and it's funny you bring this up. I have something about billionaire athletes coming up in Time Hop. We'll get to that later. LeBron, for even as much money as he has, he doesn't have enough money to buy a team outright. He doesn't. He needs to be part of an investment group.
What?
Yeah. Seriously.
How LeBron doesn't have that much money?
No, he's a billionaire. He's worth $1.2 billion.
Yeah,
You're buying a team for $3 billion.
Oh, he's only worth $1.2 billion.
He's worth $1.2 billion.
That's crazy.
That's his net worth. That's not cash. That's not liquid. You know what I mean? Here, do this. NBA team values. Here you go. Who do you think the most expensive team in the NBA is?
The Lakers.
No.
Celtics.
No.
The 76ers.
Nope.
Bro, what?
Nope. This team actually went up by $1 billion over this past year.
The Knicks.
No.
Bro, what?
Go west, young man. Way west.
Not the Clippers.
Nope.
I was about to say, hell no.
Close.
The Warriors?
The Warriors are $8.8 billion. Okay. Number 2, the Knicks, $7.5 billion. Then the Lakers at 7, Celtics 6, Clippers are at 5. Let me see if I can get the Cavs on here. I feel like the Cavs were like 3 something maybe. Cavs $3.95 billion. They're worth $4 billion. Who do you think the cheapest team in the NBA is?
Pistons?
Oh wait, no. Sorry, I wasn't all the way down the list. No. It's not the Pistons. They're close. They're like 25th.
Okay. Is it somebody you'd suspect?
They were also dead last year. I would say maybe they're a small market team. They have a really good player. I'm trying to see if there's another way I can describe this.
Spurs?
Midwest.
Midwest.
But they play in the West. I always think it's weird that they're in the West, even though they really should geographically probably be in the East.
The Thunder?
No, the Grizzlies.
Oh, okay.
The Grizzlies are worth $3 billion even. They went up $600 million from last year. Last year's valuation was 2.4. They're worth an even 3. Bro, that's more than double of what LeBron's net worth is. He does not. And that's just what their value is. That's not what somebody would pay to buy them.
No, yeah, I know.
He'll be a part of a group. I'm not saying that he won't be, but he can't buy him by himself. There's no way. And I do think that's the next, because in his situation, it's what? I think it's either coaching or owning. He's going to be an owner, and then he can do all the rest of his stuff going on. He'll be a part of that. Dan's never selling the Cavs. There is in no world. He's building that brand new facility down there. And even look at that. The worst team in the NBA went up $600 million in valuation from last year to this year. It's a good investment.
Yeah,
owning an NFL team is a great investment. Owning an NBA team is a damn good investment. Hockey and baseball, yeah. You want to own one of those two teams, you can. That's why they don't come for sale all that often.
So if Bryce commits next year, or if Bryce plays, does Bryce play college ball next year?
I got to look that up. I think he goes
and
next
then he could
year.
do one and done.
Bryce James. I think he's at his senior year. Is he not at Sierra Canyon or whatever it is? He's 6'6" already. Good for him.
Dude, yeah. Oh, no.
Everybody always said they're like, dude, he's going to be better than Bronny. And that's not a shot at Bronny. Bronny is an NBA player. He's damn good.
Bryce got
But everybody said, they're like, dude, he's going to be good. So I don't know this. Bryce started at Sierra Canyon. Then he transferred to Campbell Hall. He only stayed there for a couple of months in the summer. Then he transferred to Notre Dame in Sherman Oaks, and then he transferred back to Sierra Canyon. He's going to be a senior this year. How does he not have, right? Yeah. Here goes, 24/7 Sports. They list him at 6'4". Somebody else said he was 6'6". On a scale of 100, 24/7 Sports has him as an 86. He is the 18th best prospect in California. They rank him as the 27th best shooting guard in his class.
Okay.
His college list right now is Duquesne and Ohio State. Duquesne?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Keith Dambrot.
Yep.
He has an offer from them and Ohio State and then USC. Doesn't have an offer yet.
He's not going to USC.
If they stay in LA, where else would he go?
He's not going to USC.
I don't know college basketball, so I don't know if they're going to be good or not. But he's reportedly cool on all of those. He's had 2 offers. Again, Duquesne and Ohio State. That's it. He's class 2025. He graduates next year.
Okay.
So he's going to be a senior.
So he'll play with LeBron on the Cavs.
It goes for 1 year. Isn't that possible? Wouldn't that be something? Maybe that's another goal for LeBron. I don't know.
Facts.
Can you go to the Lakers and ask them to do it again? Now, the problem is, what if Bryce becomes good and then you got to have a first-round pick to go get him?
Yeah.
That'd be tough. I think the family thing is a bigger factor in all this than you're kind of making it out to be. From a strict basketball standpoint, I understand that more. You would say the Cavs are a better team. And I will say this. As far as the East versus the West goes, doesn't the East seem a little flimsy? Like, I know the Celtics are going to be good. They're not going anywhere. I think the Knicks are going to be pretty good. There's a world the 76ers and the Bucks are ass because they just get hurt again. Don't forget about the Magic, though. They're my sleeper all year, man. Paolo Banchero's going to be a beast. But I'm just saying, the East seems a little more flimsy, maybe, if he really wanted to view it as what's my best chance to go win a championship. And I don't think he cares about the path. I know I don't. Remember when the Yankees had a clear path to the World Series? Ha! Jackasses. We'll get to that later as well. But the essence of the question remains. Do you think he'll ever come back? Have I changed you at all? Or are you further entrenched in your idea that he's going to come back one day?
Yeah, to me, it's just the perfect fairy tale storyline. He
But-
already played with Bronny.
Yeah.
He'll play with Bryce in Cleveland. And then by 2033, when Zuri goes to the WNBA, he'll be allowed to play in that.
But
right?
the other thing that you got to remember, which I don't mean to bring this up in a negative light in a sense, but here's what I'm just going to say. The Cleveland part of it might not resonate with him as much anymore. Remember when that was such a thing about he's from Akron, he's not from Cleveland?
No, that's
now,
fair.
I think he kind of blended that over. And if you follow him on social media, he was rooting hard for the Guardians. And I there's a Cleveland tie there with him that you can't find anywhere else. And I do think we're on better footing than, obviously, when Dan wrote the letter and all that kind of stuff, and they smoothed that over. Why did LeBron... Don't forget this, too. Why did LeBron come back to the Cavs the first time?
Kyrie Irving?
It was because they were a good team, and I do think he wanted to remedy the decision. That was a bad move, right? He wanted to erase that, and the Cavs were also an electric, really, really good team. I'm not saying the Cavs aren't going to be that, but it's a little different this time. Donovan Mitchell's good, maybe to the level of Kyrie. And there are a lot of people that say and believe when it's all said and done, Donovan Mitchell will go down as the second best player to ever play for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, that's another great debate because I had this
I don't think he's
debate
there
actually.
yet. But
I had this debate with my buddy is
sure.
They're different players in a way, but and I've seen Kyrie Irving do some things that I've never seen Donovan Mitchell do, but I've seen Donovan Mitchell do quite a few things that I've never seen Kyrie Irving do.
Kyrie is almost one of one, mostly with his handle. I have never,
that's the greatest handle
ever seen he is the best ball handler I've ever seen in my life. That guy could dribble in a phone booth. He's that good. Donovan is probably a better shooter.
Yeah.
I think they get to the rack differently. Donovan might be a little bit better at attacking. But you're right. They're two great players. Then, you add Evan Mobley in that, right? If Evan Mobley, which were 4 games, then let's calm down. Do you like 20 for him tonight? I was thinking that hard for our parlay. It's been the Darius show. Did we go back to Mobley? We'll get to our parlay later. If Evan Mobley takes the steps forward that you think he's going to, does he then become that great attractor? Of that guy is so good and he's a unicorn and I got to go play with that guy. That could be another factor in all this.
I mean, that's kind of the crux of it. If LeBron's goal is to win another championship and you don't feel like you can do it in LA, which I don't think they'll be able to. And
I mean, that's the other essence of the question. Do you think that they have title hopes in LA? Right now they do. They're off to a good start.
I understand that.
When you slice it on down, I really don't know.
I'm just saying if your goal is to win another championship, I think a lineup of Donovan Mitchell, LeBron James, and Evan Mobley, you're winning an NBA championship.
I can listen to that. And you also think about where where the Lakers are right now. Here's where they're. Anthony Davis right now is averaging 33 points per game. That's not going to continue, right? LeBron's averaging 20. Then, can you name me the third leading scorer on the Lakers? This is a really hard one. I had to look this up. That's the only reason I'm asking.
So it's not Austin Reeves?
It is Austin Reeves.
Oh, yeah.
Then number 4, Rui Hachimura. Yeah. And then D'Angelo Russell. Those are the 4 guys. The 5 guys. AD, LeBron, Reeves, Rue, and D'Angelo Russell. They're 5 stars. They're the only ones averaging double digits. You really going to hitch your rag into Rui Hachimura? You really going to hitch your wagon to Austin Reeves?
We got a nice white boy, too, in
Maybe.
Sam Merrill.
Max Strus? Sure. We got those guys. They can get it done. They got Dalton Connect. He's actually looks pretty good at that point, too. But yeah, and the other final thing, maybe to wrap up all this, I've said final thing about 1,000 times on this. LeBron is a genius. He knows basketball as well as anybody. He knows what it looks like. He knows, and I'm talking about strict X's and O's, what you have put together with your team. He knows what it's supposed to look like. He knows what good basketball is for the players that you have. And you could sit there and say, this is not a well-constructed team. If you wanted to look at it from this standpoint, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Austin Reeves, and I'm just going to say Rue, right? Those four. Mobley, Garland, Allen, Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, man,
Which four would you take?
Yeah, it's not close.
Now, again, AD and LeBron might be the best two, but Donovan would be right there. You would take Mobley, you would take Allen, and you would take Darius Garland over those other guys. Absolutely. But they're not going to be here. They're not going to be here.
Evan Mobley's a better defender than Anthony
No,
Davis.
Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell will. They will. And you ask yourself, is that a better running mate than Anthony Davis and Austin Reeves?
Yes.
Watch Anthony Davis get hurt again this year. What if that happens? And LeBron sits there and he goes, I can't do this anymore. I can't.
You can't compare Donovan Mitchell to Austin Reeves.
No, I'm not trying to. Not at all. And also, LeBron really want to tool around for the 8 seed and have to go to the play-in tournament again?
Bro,
I don't think so.
LeBron's probably itching to play in the finals again.
You know he is. How could he not? But the thing is, it's also not going to be right now. He's not leaving LA this year.
Next
It's
year.
not. But that's where tonight might be important, man.
Imagine the Cavs go to the Eastern Conference Finals this year.
That could be a big part of it, too. What if Donovan goes off for 50 tonight? What if they show up? What if that's the message, man? Hey, let's show LeBron some things.
Bro, LeBron watched Donovan Mitchell drop 70
I know.
2 years ago.
Yeah, I know. He knows it, man. He knows it. All right, Cavs are 4.5-point home favorites tonight. I don't know if I like the spread for tonight, but we'll talk about that. I do like the Cavs to win. So we'll get our parlay cooked up here in a little bit. It's going to be emotion, certainly, with LeBron coming back tonight, which is awesome. Got plenty of football that I want to get to as well. We got to talk trade deadline. That's right around the corner. And Zadarius Smith, we talked about it with Noah Weiskopf to start the show, right? That's the easy name.
I just thought of this real quick.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I understand LeBron has a no-trade clause, and I understand the Lakers. Let's say this. Lakers are trash at the deadline.
Okay.
And LeBron tells the Lakers, listen, I'm not coming back here next year.
Okay.
We'll trade you Darius Garland. We'll trade you Jared Allen. Whatever. Make it work the money.
Yeah.
Is that ever possible?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Could you imagine that?
Absolutely.
Imagine this year.
Dude, you're going to make me do this, aren't you?
Yes. Pull up the trade calculator. You know what I mean, though? Like if LeBron tells him, listen, I'm not going to be here next year, so you might as well trade me. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, they would because
Right.
you got to get something out of it.
Right.
Sign and trade or something.
This
So,
is hilarious.
okay, so here's the problem. I cannot add Jared Allen.
Why?
Because when he signed his contract, you can't trade him for 6 months. Remember how we talked about they have a window of 1 day before the deadline that they can trade him. So right now, when I go to the trade machine, I can't add him.
Is it possible?
I can't add LeBron either because he has a no trade clause. I can't add.
Yeah, but LeBron could waive it, no?
But I'm saying the trade machine won't let me do it.
But in real life, it's possible.
In real life, yes. In real life, yes.
In real life, you can trade Jared Allen.
Not today.
But by the trade deadline.
No, like literally, from my understanding, the day before the trade deadline, they have like 28 hours
Oh, that's
to
perfect.
trade him.
You can
Doesn't
get it-
mean you can't
Right, you
not
can get it-
agree to it or
right.
discuss it. You can't do anything. The day Jared Allen signed, that's why the day that they signed him was so important. It gave them that small window that if they need to trade him before the trade deadline, they have like 1 day to do that. That's it. That's it. If you want to look at it from just this standpoint, the money works. Darius Garland is making $36 million this year. Jared Allen, even 20. LeBron's salary, 48. So that money works. And in fact, you would only need to come up with another 13 on top of Darius Garland. you could give them Max Strus. You could give them Karis LeVert, and that would make the money work. I'm just saying. Dude, you can give him Dean Wade if you wanted to.
No, not Dean.
You can give him George Niang if you wanted to.
That's okay.
That's okay. Garland's here. And again, I'm not trying to wish them away or anything, but that's also how much, that could change too if Dan's willing to go into the tax.
Yeah.
Right now, the Cavs are just over the tax line at $2 million. The Lakers are $17 million over the tax line. 17. Yeah. They got two guys. LeBron makes $48 million. Anthony Davis makes $43 million. Woo!
Did you just move Donovan to point guard?
$91 million. That's the same amount for Garland, Mitchell, and Jared Allen.
One can dream.
With extra.
I'm not trying to ship off Darius or Jared.
No, I'm not either. We're having the debate about. I love your conviction on this. I love that you just believe that there's some sort of cosmic fate.
There is. Weird
that LeBron's going to come back. I'd welcome him. I'd welcome him with open arms. And even if they didn't win a championship, you're right. That's a great little fairy tale ending to the story. But he also would have a damn good look at it. I understand that. But he's back tonight. There'd be a chorus of cheers, all that.
Imagine Donovan throwing lobs at LeBron.
Could they retire his number while he was playing for us? What if he came back and they said, we're just going to retire your number now? It's happening. It's what it's going to be. Just keep him away from the Dwayne Wade statue sculptor, please, for the love of God.
That's crazy.
You see what D. Wade said? He's trying to defend it.
No.
He goes, I'm okay with it not looking like me, because if it looked like me, I might as well just stand out front and people take pictures of me all the time. Dwayne, that's the point of the statue. You're not going to be standing out there all the time. The statue is supposed to be there so people can take pictures with it. It's supposed to look like you.
Yeah,
He's just trying to defend an abomination, an absolute atrocity that statue really is. So keep LeBron's sculptor away from that, or LeBron away from that sculptor for his statue. But what if he came back and they said, dude, we're going to do it all. We're going to tie your jersey while you're still here. We're going to do that for you. We're not going to that debate, but is Donovan entering that conversation?
No.
Got to win a ring?
Not necessarily, but he's only been here 3 years.
If you're on that track of being the second best player this organization's ever seen, that jersey's going to go up there.
Yeah, but then it gets to, okay, is this
I will tell you, I want to defend real quick. I'm one that I don't think Kyrie should get it. I don't think Kevin Love should get it. I don't think Tristan Thompson can get it. Donovan Mitchell's still behind all of those guys because they won a championship. All right, they're behind them.
Yeah, and if you're talking about retiring jerseys, then it's like
it's just LeBron. It's only LeBron.
Isn't part of retiring a jersey the longevity of what they meant to the franchise?
Sure, and that's why guys like, Brad Daugherty and Austin Carr and Mark Price, those guys don't have Z. Why did Z get his jersey retired? Because he was here forever. And I also think that was a spiteful thing to try to stick to LeBron. But I think it's just LeBron at this point. But maybe you could do that. Maybe that'd be a little fun fairy tale ending for everything. All right, great stuff on that discussion. Our Twitter question is up. It's just getting smoked, Ryan.
Yeah, I know.
It's just getting smoked. Do you want to give everybody an update on the results on that so far?
Yeah, 85%.
Woo! There it is.
That's all right.
That's all right. There's still hope. There's always hope. All right, let's catch our break. Morning update. I want to get into the NFL trade deadline coming around. I saw this morning, and it made me laugh for a second, that the Patriots might actually be buyers now at the trade deadline. They beat the Jets. They think they got a run in them. Should we flip this on its head and push the Browns to be buyers?
No.
At the trade deadline?
No. Patriots being buyers is just as silly as the Browns being buyers.
We'll talk about that coming up. Morning update. We got it all for you. Hour 2. Fontana Show right here on Big Play.
I'm Garage Beer, and this is Bobby Carpenter.
Garage Beer. Beer-flavored beer.
Beef with an F? Okay, my bad. It's crisp and cool, and it doesn't taste like ass. I'm Bobby Carpenter. I drink in garages because my wife says I don't belong inside. If you like a cold breeze on your bag, drink Garage Beer. It's American, and so can you. Garage Beer. Beer-flavored beer.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
That's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
even though our strength of schedule was number 1 in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have the dogs up front. We have the dogs in the back as it relates to our defense. Our defense alone keeps us in these games. Not even talking about offense. Let's just say Deshaun Watson isn't there. We got dogs on the defensive side that's mirroring the potential of the Ravens from 2001 or 2000 Ravens with Jamal Lewis and the boys and Ray Lewis and those guys.
Right.
They won. Again, no disrespect to Trent Dilfer, but they won without a high-powered offense.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
They're off in the Kentucky Derby as Authentic takes them around the far turn. Tis the Laws making his move now, and they're into the stretch. These two stride for stride. Authentic, tis the Law. Here's the wire. Authentic has won the Kentucky Derby.
Welcome back, Fontana Show, right here on Big Play. Check us out, Twitter at Matt Fontana Show. We're up on Instagram, YouTube as well at Big Play Network. Did you miss Jameis Winston with his Swenson's review as part of the Big Play?
Galley Boy
Dude,
so
could
bad
you
right
not
now.
just destroy a Galley Boy at any point, at any time of the day? Oh, man, what burger did we went to Culver's a couple of weeks ago. Bearden's on the west side. Great. Where did we just go?
McDonald's?
No, McDonald's always. Well, stay away from those quarter pounders, buddy. You read about that?
Whoa,
you read about that?
Yes, but listen to this. I was shook because the day before that, literally,
Don't
I'm
know me
not
get
kidding
quarter
you.
pounders. The quarter pounders are disgusting.
No,
But
listen.
continue anyway.
I know, but the night before that, I destroyed a Big Mac in like 4 seconds.
So they said.
No, I know, no. But
It's-
I didn't know that, and I was like, oh my gosh, I hope it wasn't the same meat.
So for
and I
those
went back
that-
and read, it wasn't. I was like, okay, I'm good.
It's not even the meat. So for
It's
those who don't know,
onions.
there's an E. coli breakout with McDonald's. People have been hospitalized.
People died.
It's the slivered onions
Yes.
on the quarter pounder, not the diced onions on everything else. There was some poor kid ate 3 quarter pounders 3 days in a row and is in the hospital over that. Man. No, it's not. It was funny. Oh, no. You know exactly where I went? Because here's what happened, right? So we had a little weekend project with Fontana compound over the weekend. God, do I hate drywalling. So shout out to my Uncle Jerry and my dad. We've not been able to get it done. So we're sitting there, and every time my brothers or my uncle and my dad come over to work, I'm always like, I'm going to treat you guys to lunch, you know? So I'm in the car, and our staple is just going to McDonald's. And I text my wife, and I go, do you want a Diet Coke? You know, she loves Diet Coke from McDonald's. She goes, no. She goes, no, don't go there. And I was like, oh, no. Bro, there's a Rally's right next to it. We got some Big Bufords.
Bruh.
Big Buford. Oh, you've never had a Big Buford before? Oh. Clutch. They got the seasoned fries at Rally's, which are so good. That was it. We had Big Bufords over the weekend. Slamming, man. I love it. I love
I'm
it.
so hungry.
Yeah, but again, Jameis on the Big Play Cleveland show, part of our content here at Big Play. Go download the app. You can see him going to Swenson's. We got to get that partnership,
Dude,
rolling.
I got a complaint.
Sure.
I have to get this off my chest.
Please do.
I got to get this off my chest. I went to the Browns game Sunday.
Okay.
And I can't remember what the place I got, what, concession I got food
Sure.
for. And I ordered, it was like the Cleveland nachos.
Okay. Nachos at a football game are an interesting choice, but go ahead.
And she hands me it, and I start eating it. And I'm just looking at it. I'm like, This is just kettle chips with a little cheese. It was horrible.
$20 probably.
15.
Yeah.
Kettle chips as nachos.
Wait. I misread you. I thought you were talking wait a minute. Kettle
chips were my nachos.
What?
I was disgusted.
That does not sound appetizing.
I was
Did
very
you screw
upset.
up? Was that like a specialty thing and you
Nope.
just picked it off the
Nope.
kettle chip?
Yes, I was so upset.
I love kettle chips, not as nachos.
It was ridiculous.
Though.
And all it was on it was like a little cheese and like melted cheese and like.
Yeah, I mean that's how that goes.
Oh, I was so upset.
But kettle chips, not good.
Unbelievable.
Huh.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, man, that's a little mess up there. That's not good. What's the thing? So obviously when you go to baseball, you get nachos. When I go to the Cavs, they have a Quaker steak and lube in there, which I don't know why I always end up hitting. But it's like, baseball's one, you get a hot dog, you get your nachos. I can't, like, football games. I mean, dude, I tell you what, I have not been to a game as a fan in, I think, 10 years.
No.
Seriously, it's 10 years, I think.
My first game in a while.
Yeah. So it's like hard because when we go, at that point in my life, I was just like, I would eat in Muni lot before you go in because you just want to buy beer when you get there.
Yeah.
I don't know what I get when I go to the games. I was kind of thinking about that too of like, trust me, I want the Browns to keep winning, but if they kept playing bad, then ticket prices go down. Maybe they take Fontana Jr. over there. Take a 3-year-old to last. Even if they made it to halftime, I really wouldn't care. Like a 3-year-old? Think you'd care?
Fine. No, you'd be all right.
All right, we'll see how it goes. You can come with us. Uncle Ryan will be the chaperone. How's it goes? All right, got the morning update. Let's get to it. Stories you got to know.
All right, well, we've been talking about it all morning, but 4-0 Cleveland Cavaliers welcome in the 3-1 Los Angeles Lakers to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Cleveland opens up as a 3.5-point favorite. Now it's a 4.5-point favorite for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Over under 225.5. Matt, you told me you had a lock. Remind me what it was.
So here's the two legs I like. LeBron to score 20. Now, I know he's only averaging 20. And by the way, in that Phoenix game, LeBron has a streak, and I'm going to misquote this. I think it's like 2,600 games that he scored double-digit points. He has scored 10 or more points in every regular season game since January 6th of 2007.
That's absurd.
7. This is old. That's 1,200 straight games. This is in the sporting game. Okay, I'm sorry. I put a little much on the 2,600 game. Entering this season, he had a streak of 1,222 straight games of 10 or more points. That's a lot. That's a big difference. But anyway, that's still a lot. He's beaten Jordan's streak, which was 866. His 356 game difference equals 4 full seasons. So LeBron has done 4 full straight seasons of 10 points more than MJ. The only reason I bring it up, he barely got that against the Suns. He had to go to the last 2 minutes to get that last game out. I don't think that's going to be a problem here. No. So I'm going to up that, and I think he scores 20 tonight. I love a Dean Wade 3. All right, he had an off game last time out, but a little, and I'm not saying this is high on the ranking list of Cavs priorities going into the season, but when you heard about Kenny Atkinson talk about Dean Wade, when you heard Dean Wade in preseason, they kept telling him, shoot, be confident, shoot the basketball. And when I look at Dean Wade, he's going to jack up a couple of threes. Let me get his, I'm going to get his game log here for you.
I think it was like 0 for 5 against the Knicks.
Here it is. In his 4 games this season, 3, 7, 3, and 5 3-point attempts. He's going to hit 1. By the way, he's 0 for his last 8. He was 0 for 5 against the Knicks and 0 for 3 against the Wizards. He's due. Lock that in. Can I just, what do you think, dude? If that's if that's close to even money, I might just take that as my bet for tonight.
1-3, I'll say minus 120.
I think it's probably around that. I'll give you minus 140 maybe. All right, Cavs, NBA. Dude, it's already up to 5. I don't like the spread. Yeah, I don't like it. 3's made. Why can't I bet Dean Wade 3s?
You can't?
No. Mitchell, Garland, Karras, and Mobley are the only ones for the Cavs. That's it.
What's a Mobley 3?
1 is plus 115. 2 is plus 600.
Oh, bro. You got to bet the Mobley 3 because he's going to see Anthony Davis throwing up threes. And he's going to
we hit that. We missed our parlay last time out. I'm going to cap this at 4. I get into these 6-leg ones and it just screws me. I'm going to cap this at 4. Why? Dude, that's annoying. I got Dean Wade points. Think Dean Wade scores 5 points?
Yeah.
That's minus 190. So maybe I add that. In his okay, Dean Wade, 4 games, 5, 19, 2 and 1. Those are his point totals, the 4 games so far. You like Karras to get to 5? He's minus 850. That's almost worth not bet. Why can't I bet on a 3 made for... That bother me. Dude. Why? Why can't I do that?
Because they know it's going to hit.
Because they know it's going to hit. That's annoying. Anyway. All right, well, now we're going to have to change out a leg. Maybe it's your Mobley 3. I guess that's it. I don't like that one necessarily, but...
No, that'll hit. Because he's going to see Anthony Davis throwing up
He is going to see Anthony Davis throwing up some threes. Here, let me go run through real quick Evan Mobley on the season. All right, 3-point shooting for Mobley. 1 out of 2, 2 out of 3, 0 for 2, 1 out of 1. So he's only averaging, in 4 games, he's taken 8 threes. So he's averaging 2 a game. 2 attempts, I'm saying. I don't know if I like that, if him just hit, whatever. Scared money don't make money. All right, we'll get to that a little bit later. Anyway, is it still do something for you, LeBron coming back? And I'm talking about him returning to the Cavs. I'm talking about when he comes back to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. There'll be a video montage. There'll be people cheering. Like, is it still exciting for you to see him play against the Cavs? It is for me.
Yeah,
like, I love it. I really do. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. Line's already moved up to 5, so we'll see how the Cavs got it tonight as we make our wagers a little bit later.
Alrighty, well, Indianapolis Colts have announced that they are benching quarterback Anthony Richardson in lieu of our star Joe Flacco. Benching comes 2 days after Anthony Richardson asked to come out of Sunday's game against the Houston Texans for one play, as he later told reporters, quote, he was tired.
Do you buy the narrative that this has become we are going to protect Anthony Richardson? You know, the Colts, and there's been a lot of conversation, Orlovsky and all these people that are talking about it, that this is actually a way for the Colts to say, we're still all in on Anthony Richardson. This is us protecting him from this. I don't buy that for a second. When you got to bench a guy like that, and I understand this is basically his rookie year. He didn't play, 5 games last year, and that was it, and then he got hurt?
Not even.
This is almost his rookie year, and you're coming out with expectations. That usually does not equal success. But they're saying, we're still all in on the Anthony Richardson business. We just need to take a little detour right now. It's just, the question is, do you think he can overcome that? Is he going to understand this whole situation, or for the first time in probably a long time, he's getting benched? That's the other thing people don't understand with some of these guys, right? They started in junior high. They started in high school. They started in college. This is probably his first time really ever truly getting benched. How do you handle that from a mental standpoint? Do you understand you still got to be doing your work? Do you understand you still might have to go back into this game on Sunday? You got a damn near 40-year-old quarterback playing. You could be in a drop of a hat. It's what they do with Anthony Richardson moving forward that's going to tell the tale here. But I think it's obviously, what else are you going to do? Got tapped himself out of a game. It's not working up here right now. You got to go with Flacco, and that's why he's there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, your job is to win games. And if Joe Flacco gives you the best chance to win, you go start Joe Flacco.
Well, that's a whole nother
I understand that
about people bitching about Deshaun Watson. You know, the Browns lied to you about Deshaun Watson being your best option to win games. Do you think? Do you really think? We all know what's at play. I understand that is, yes, a factual statement on its own. Don't act like this was some big surprise secret, though. Like, we all know what was happening, okay? You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. But this is a little different when it is a guy that you view as your franchise quarterback. What was it, 4th overall pick? Tough situation. Yeah.
Alrighty, well, the Los Angeles Dodgers give up Game 4 of the World Series. Yankees finally score some runs. They win 11-4 as the series is now 3-1, Matt. But that wasn't the story of the game. You know what I'm talking about. And it comes out, the story, I don't know if you know this, Matt, but the fan's name, Austin, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Capobianco?
Oh, shocking. It was a very ethnic Italian name. Shocker.
Well, Capobianco tried to pry the ball out of right fielder Mookie Betts' glove
He tried
last
to take
night.
the glove is what he did.
Well, it turns out that Capobianco, he's a Yankee season ticket holder, said he knew he'd be in trouble but chose to grab and open Betts' glove nonetheless. He told ESPN that he and Peter, I think that's his buddy he was with, often discuss this exact scenario. They say if a foul ball comes their way, they're going to do what they can to help their team.
Breaking news. Drunk Yankee fan acts like an idiot. And I don't know if he was drinking. I'll take that part out of it. Yankees fan acts like an idiot. Miles Straw. Woo. Dude, so what? And that's the thing. People are like, oh my God, he should be thrown in jail. They're going to let him back for Game 5? So what? Who cares? Like, the fan, and you could see him motioning. When the ball crosses over, that's supposed to be the fans' spot, right? Who cares? I really think this is a much ado about nothing. So what? Yeah, Bartman. Everybody goes, Steve Bartman incident. Maybe this is the turning point for the Yankees. Dude, that run, in the grand scheme of the game, did it actually really even matter? No, they smoked them anyway. All right? So what? I'm one that I'm just like, yeah, we've all been at games before. Now, the interesting thing is you can't do that at the Guardians because the net goes the whole way down there.
Yeah.
Where's the net? I don't know. I mean, listen, I get why. And there's a line. Okay, there's a line of decorum about that's your. Would he have done that if it was a Yankees player? Probably not. He saw it coming towards him and he thought, I'm going to be a Steve Bartman here and I'm going to be able to impact the game. Fine. So what? I let him back. Who cares? It's a 1 in a million shot. That ball might not ever go that way ever again. And give Mookie credit for even getting over there to make the play. So what? And here's the thing. They called him out. What are people bitching about? That he tried to take it out of his glove? That he could have... Now, if he'd have hurt Mookie, that's different. You know, if he had actually, like, hurt his wrist or something, I think we're going to have a different conversation. He acted like a jackass. So what? He's a Yankees fan. That's what you expect.
All right, well, that was a very weird and interesting moment, but a very cool moment, Matt. I don't know if you caught this. I actually just saw this from the Big Play page, that New York Yankees pitcher Scott Efros honored Jim Donovan during their stand-up to cancer.
So he's from Twinsburg. He's from Twinsburg. So I thought that was really cool, and it took a quick second.
That's Nardoni's rival. No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. But shout out to Dave Spano. I've known Dave for a long time. He hosts Middays down at 97.5. 97.5 in Akron, and he was the first one I saw. Then Daryl had a video, and it kind of, aggregated from there. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. And obviously, Stand Up to Cancer is one of the cool things that they do in baseball, and you write the names on and things like that. So I thought that was really awesome there from Scott, which was great.
All right, lastly here for the morning. We got to talk about this.
No, please do.
For a morning update, because I want your thoughts on this. Chicago White Sox are hiring Texas Rangers coach Will Venable to be their next skipper, Matt.
I thought Brent Venable, like the Oklahoma coach, former Clemson guy, no, different guy.
We talk about this, potentially the White Sox of last year being the worst team to ever take a diamond in Major League Baseball history. Matt, how long do you think it's going to take the White Sox to not be absolute trash?
A few years. Baseball is not a quick turnaround business. You have got to make the right draft picks, develop, and all that. I was thinking Will Venable because was he not in the running for our job last year? No, I remember that name. 100%. He was in the running for our job before they gave it to Vogt. Because he's not all that old. He's only 43. He's playing up until 2016. And he's been a coach basically since. But he was in the running for the Guardians job last year, so it kind of makes sense that they turned to him. Bring Grady on home. We need a hitting coach now. Bring Grady on home.
I would love that.
Oh, wouldn't that be cool? I don't know his qualifications of it, but go ahead. And you see this a lot of young guys.
Qualifications is mashing homers.
Silver Slugger. You got that. Bring him on back. I love Grady to come on back. And that's also probably good on him to get out of there and just kind of get that stink off. The White Sox, if they would have kept Dylan Cease, I think maybe we'd have a different conversation, right? Garrett Crochet is going to be out of there by the trade deadline. Like, they have to do the full-blown, blow it up, and not even stockpile draft picks. You can't do that. You got to trade for all the young talent. When they get rid of Dylan Crochet, they are going to get...
You just combined
Garrett Crochet. You're right.
Garrett Cease.
Garrett Cease. Great stash on Garrett Cease. When they get rid of Garrett Crochet, You just got to hit on all these minor leaguers. That's it. That's all you got to do. But it's going to be 4 years down the road before they're doing anything. So it doesn't matter. Guardians win 4 AL Central titles in that time. Do you really want to do it? I don't.
We don't have to. I mean, it's kind of moot at this point.
It is practice, I guess.
Just don't pretend that you like.
Don't screw up. Yeah, I try that. I wake up every day and tell myself that, and yet here we sit.
Speed run it.
Yeah, speed run it. I do want to talk trade deadline stuff, so let's go.
Okay,
I'm going to email
one.
Bet365. I want my freaking Dean Wade over under.
Only one team, Bengals.
Joseph. Do you need me to take this over? Do you need me to take the typing over? This is getting bad. What is that emo haircut from him?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, my. Like, it looks like he's just raging out to Hawthorne Heights. Nicky FM's a jam, by the way.
All right, Patriots, Bengals. That's Mike Gesicki, right?
Yeah.
Browns, Patriots.
Jabril Peppers. Or Josh Gordon. Washington, Patriots.
Did Colt McCoy play for the Patriots?
No. He did play for the Saints, though. Didn't he? Didn't he?
I don't remember.
Didn't he? Am I thinking of Gerald McCoy? I might be. I don't know.
I don't.
Washington Patriots. There's something stinking. It's not Adrian Peterson. What? Oh my God. You know me and Mark Brunell, but I don't think that's it. There's something stinking about that. There is something that just reeks about Washington and the Patriots. I don't know what it is.
Do you think it's a quarterback?
No, I actually think it's like a tight end.
Logan Thomas?
No. I keep wanting to say Chris Cooley, but I don't think he ever went up to...
Let's skip it.
All right, skip it. Browns, Saints, DeMario Davis.
Yeah.
Man, has he turned in a really good career for himself.
Yeah.
Bengals, Saints, Von Bell. Right, or is it Eli Apple? Von Bell? No, I think it's Von Bell.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Oh, God.
There's like 1,000 Ohio State DBs that play in New Orleans. I'm pretty sure it's Von Bell. Just
all right.
Taste of throwaway. I feel pretty good it's Von Bell.
Is it, what is his real name?
2 N.
It's 2 N's?
Yeah, Von Bell.
How do you know that?
Because he played at Ohio State. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Saints, Washington.
Marcus Mariota?
I don't remember him in New Orleans.
Yeah, I thought he was the backup. Backup to Carr. He's not there now, but I thought he went there.
Yeah, no.
Maybe not. Okay. Jacoby Brissett never played in New Orleans.
That's Adrian Peterson, right?
That is Adrian Peterson.
I mean, I know he played for the Saints, and you said he played for Washington?
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. All right. All right, Garoppolo, no. RG3 never went to the Patriots. Chase Young, no. Terrell Pryor never played for the Patriots.
Dion never played for the Patriots.
No. No.
Did Joe Theismann?
No. Darrell Revis? I know he played in New England. Why do I want to... D'Angelo Hall? No. That video of him getting torched by DeAndre Hopkins, then tearing his leg up, is still one of the funniest videos ever. It's not funny that he got hurt, but it's just funny.
We go down the kicker well?
I I mean, Joey Sly, but I don't think he ever kicked in New England. I don't think Gostkowski ever played in Washington. I don't think Vinatieri ever did. Ty Law, I don't think so. Did London Fletcher ever play in New England? Cleveland's own, by the way. John Carroll alum, London Fletcher. I don't think so. Not Vernon Davis. Brandon Sheriff, no.
Did Martellus Bennett ever play for them?
Nah, I don't think so. James White, no. Kevin Falk, don't think so. Edelman, no.
Did Vinny Testaverde ever play in Washington?
I don't know.
Did Drew Bledsoe ever play in Washington?
I don't know. You know,
did Ryan Fitzpatrick never play in New England?
He never played in New England. I mean, old friend Josh Johnson. I know he played in Washington. Did Matt Castle? Bro. We're sweating over one that we already screwed up this week. Yeah, but I'd like to just for my own mental health. I don't know.
I got nothing.
You just want to rip
Josh Johnson?
Sure. Yeah. Oh, Albert Hainsworth. I should have known that.
Albert Hainsworth?
I told you. Remember the guy signed that massive contract, couldn't pass the conditioning test?
Oh, yeah, you did talk about him.
That was Albert Hainsworth. I should have gotten it. Click on the list. Oh, Brian Hoyer.
That's so stupid.
Click on the list. Just for my...
I hate that view.
I know. Just read them.
Bob D, Andre Carter, Terry Allen.
What?
Oh, we already used Jacoby Brissett for the other one.
Oh, yeah. No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't.
Yes, Matt, yes, we did.
What did we use him on? We didn't. No, we didn't.
Are you sure?
No, we didn't.
Oh, I don't like it.
I know. I hate
Antonio Gibson would have worked too.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man.
Oh, man. Of all the backups I named, and we didn't bring up Jacoby. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Yeah, we're getting Jacoby in this. He said, no, you didn't, you fools.
Fools! You idiots! God, do we suck at that.
I mean, I feel like Greg gives me a migraine.
It's a great mental exercise. Jacoby Brissett there. Sorry. We're bad.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah. Well, speaking of guys that might get traded around the league, trade deadline right around the books. I go over to Dan Graziano and Jeremy Fowler, and a couple things that they wrote, because I always love their, around the league mailbag, so to speak. So we start, latest tips, buzz, everything. Player who's most likely to be traded. Graziano. On Tuesday morning, my answer was Deontay Johnson. Well, by Tuesday afternoon, he was in Baltimore. With Johnson on the move, I'll go with Browns edge rusher Zadarius Smith. This is from Graziano. I don't think the Browns have any interest in moving Myles Garrett, but they're hearing from teams on Smith, who's making a minimum $1.2 million salary this year and has about $11 million in non-guaranteed compensation for next year. He's 32, probably not in Cleveland's long-term plans. So if the Browns can't get a good enough draft pick compensation return for a short-term rental, this makes a lot of sense. Fowler. Smith is a sound choice. Although Cleveland won't be looking to dump core players, it could be active if the right opportunities arise. From Fowler, he says a decent day 3 pick probably gets the job done. He's going to stay in his receiver lane, though. He thinks Mike Williams gets moved off the Jets now that they have Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, and their team is in the crap.
Who the hell's trading for Mike
I don't
Williams?
know. I don't know. That guy's, and I'm not ripping Mike Williams. He's living off of one season from 8 years ago, to be honest with you. Graziano on Cooper Kupp. Last time we were hearing about Cooper Kupp rumblings out of Los Angeles. The Rams have won a couple in a row and are in contention in the congested NFC West, which makes me think Kupp isn't going anywhere.
Correct.
Coach Sean McVay said Monday the team had granted Tre'Davious White permission to seek a trade and wonder if he could be on the move as well. That's pretty much it. Under the radar players, Evan Neal, guard, Darius Slayton, Azeez Ojulari. It's a lot of Giants players as they seem to be in the tank there. Panthers at running back. Jonathan Brooks is coming back. Chuba Hubbard, Miles Sanders been such a disappointment there. He's been terrible. Absolutely terrible. The reason I wanted to bring up these other positions, you were quick and adamant. You don't think a win could flip the Browns to being buyers at this trade deadline?
Hell no.
When you zig, and sometimes they zag, do you think Sunday, and then 3-6? I got this from BetOnline. You ready for this?
You're not a buyer.
Browns playoff odds to make the playoffs is plus 1,800. To miss is minus 5,000. That is an implied odd that they will miss 98%. They give it a 2% chance that they make the playoffs. So that's it for the Browns. A win Sunday doesn't flip you at all. And here's, okay, when I say being buyers, what do you instantly think of? They're buying for right now. They're buying to make a run. They'll give up a draft pick to go get somebody in here for the now. What if they just take somebody off their hands for a few years? Maybe this is a guy, I'm not going to say Azeez Ojulari or somebody, that's a semi-big name there. But, if you gave up a third-round pick to get a guy in here that's under control for next year, or you pull a Jerry Jeudy and it's a guy that you want that you know you could sign to a long-term deal, there's opportunities there. And I say this all the time, mostly about the Cavs, but I'm going to apply it to the Browns. There are windows that you can sneak into this. And with the Cavs, I'm talking 3-team deals. I'm not talking about that in the NFL. But what I'm saying is, if everybody out there is scrapping and trying to find some of these players and all that kind of stuff, there are players that fall through the cracks. There's some that might come out the other end that you could pick up for a third, fourth round pick. Now, we know the Browns have to rebuild, and there's going to be a semi-rebuild coming, and you need as many picks as you can get. But I'm just saying, even on Zadarius Smith, his contract's $1.2 million. Is a third-round pick, and I'm going to take a third round off it.
$1.2 million.
That's all he's making this year. $1.2 million. That's his base salary this year. $1 million. That's it.
What was his signing bonus?
They said he has $11 million of unguaranteed money next year. There's void.
Next year he makes the $11 million?
It's not guaranteed next year, so you can cut him. Zadarius Smith, in this article, they say he's on the hook for $1.2 million. That's it. Here, I'm pulling his contract up. He signed a 1-year, $11 million deal with the Browns.
Right.
That has a bunch of void dummy years in it. His base salary is $1.1 million. He had a $4 million signing bonus, which we already paid him. He has a cap hit of 5.2. That's it. That's it. So he's on a base of 1.2. And again, that's for the whole season. You prorate that. You're halfway through the season. I wanted to say this about Zadarius Smith. I get that that's the easy move. And if you could give up that salary to pick up even a 5th-round pick, you do that. But don't forget about the message sent to your team. And I'm not saying that you can't go find me a Joe Schobert. You can't go find me a Donovan Peoples-Jones for a 5th or 6th round pick. I know those guys are out there. Might not be worth it to me. To try to keep this thing on the rails, the smart thing is you trade away Zadarius Smith for whatever you can. And you could send that message to that locker room. Guys, we have your best interest in mind here. We have the best interest for the future in mind right here. Zadarius does not factor into our future. You guys all do. We're going to get a draft pick to bring somebody else in here that is going to help our future. Maybe that's how you got to sell it. But I just thought about it where it's so easy that the layup right now is just trading away Zadarius Smith. I just ask, is that worth it to send that message? And I think the answer, as I come back through it and as I kind of talk through it with everybody right now, I think the answer comes back to yes. So you call these teams, and as Fowler said, day 3 pick. We're talking about a 4th-round pick at best, right? Maybe conditional status on that. I have no freaking idea. You go. Now, I go over to CBS Sports. because, NFL.com. Because Kevin Patra had exact fits, not just trading away a player, but the exact fit. And let's do some of these right now. Give me your thumbs up or down. How about this one? Number 1. The Detroit Lions make the trade for Trey Hendrickson. They don't get Max Crosby. He's done. Aiden Hutchinson is out. Could they go make on a guy that has already requested a trade out of Cincinnati and wants to get paid, maybe boost some of his stats next to, well, no, Aiden Hutchinson's gone. I'm sorry. Take that out. Trey Hendrickson to the Lions. Would you do it?
Yeah, if I'm the Lions?
If you're the Lions.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're the Bengals, would you do it? That's signaling we're done. 3 and 5 is where they're at, right?
What are they getting for it?
3rd round pick.
Yeah.
I do not believe in I don't think Trey Hendrickson's all that good.
Yeah, I would.
But okay. Next up, Andrews Pete, offensive lineman, goes to the Texans. Boring. Mike Williams to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, we were just crapping on Mike Williams. Mike Evans, hamstring injury. Chris Godwin, done. Would you take Mike Williams? I would.
No.
Tampa? Yes.
No.
5th round pick. I'd do that.
5th round.
5th round. I'd do that.
Throw in a galley boy.
Yeah. Do that. Azeez Ojulari goes to the 49ers. Rich get richer. Calais Campbell goes back to the Atlanta Falcons. And the one they already knew about, Cam Robinson, goes up to the Vikings. But there's one more on here. It is Zadarius Smith. Kevin Patra writes for him to go to the Baltimore Ravens. The write-up. The most surprising part of the Ravens' loss on Sunday was all the time that Jameis Winston had in the pocket. Go back to our Noah Weisskopf interview where he dropped that stat on us out of nowhere. Jameis had the most amount of time since any quarterback since 2018.
He really did.
Just dropped that on our heads. Loved it from Noah earlier.
No warning.
Jameis Winston had the most amount of time in basically 6 years. Ravens could trade for DB help, but getting more pass rush would be optimal. Cal Van Noy's played all right. Odafe Oweh, so what? Smith, who spent his first 4 seasons of his career in Baltimore, is one of several former Ravens who could provide a boost. Calais Campbell's in Miami. An old friend, Jadeveon Clowney, may be getting out of Carolina. Yes, this would be an in-division trade between rivals. But even after Sunday's upset, the Browns should still be in sell mode from Kevin Patra. Ravens, meanwhile, should be heavily motivated by the most of their addition of Deontay Johnson to help the passing attack. Smith is 32, but still has punch off the edge. He has 5 sacks this season, opposite of Myles Garrett. And they don't have Myles there, but I'm just saying. And his size would help against the run to fortify a Ravens defense that can't stop a nosebleed as of late. Would you trade to the Ravens?
No.
Absolutely freaking not.
Yeah, not a shot.
No.
Nope.
Absolutely not. Now, you could say he'll probably be out of there after the year. And if you got the best value, if they somehow came and gave you a 2, not happening.
Okay, yes, it is.
Then you'd make that trade?
A 2?
That ain't happening.
Yes, I'm making that trade.
Oh, I know. So would I. I know that is not happening. Do not trade with them. Don't do that. And I think there is a message on, again, where you send them and what you do. Do not trade them to the Ravens. That can't be. And I know Kevin even said, he goes, this is not, I don't want to say based in reality. But, yeah, I mean, he just brought it up to go to the Ravens. He's connecting the dots. That's a dot that need not be connected, though. That's not happening. Absolutely not. All right, you want to do this? You want to get right to timeout? Then we get to our wages for tonight for the Cavs?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, here we go. We head on back on the eve of Halloween. All Hallows Eve, if you will, is where we're at. Yeah, Halloween is tomorrow. What are you going as?
Nothing.
What?
I mean, what am I going to dress up for? It's not like I'm going trick-or-treating.
You can come over to our house. You can come with us.
You're too far
My son's going as Spider-Man. I think my daughter's going as a bee. I don't know. I'm not dressing up. My wife's not dressing up. We'll walk down with them as there we go. All right, first up, let's start on back. I mentioned the billionaire list. How about this? 1 year ago today, Magic Johnson was announced as the 4th athlete to become a billionaire, according to Forbes.
Oh.
Who were the 3 before him?
LeBron, Michael Jordan, This doesn't have to just be basketball, right?
No, any sport.
Tiger Woods.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
He was fourth. That was 3. Tiger, MJ, and LeBron. So Magic has now joined that list. His 4th athlete to become a billionaire. This date, 2021, the Rock Hall inductions. Foo Fighters, Jay-Z, Tina Turner, Todd Rundgren, and LL Cool J among the inductees 3 years ago today. I wish they would do it in this town year-round. You build a dome, maybe they will. I don't know. But they do fine over at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. I don't know why they don't do it year-round, but it is what it is. All right, we go back to this date, 2016, Browns-Jets. You probably know what happens. We fall 31-28. The stink of this game, Ryan, we had a 20-7 lead going into halftime. Cody Parkey hit a field goal as time expired in the first half to go up 20-7. He had a field goal earlier with an Isaiah Crowell and Andrew Hawkins touchdown. Out of halftime, the Jets went on to score 24 unanswered points. 3 touchdowns, 2 of them from Matt Forte and Nick Folk. They're up 30-20. We score a touchdown with 12 seconds to go to make it 31-28, and obviously we don't get the onside kick and we fall. Josh McCown, 2 touchdowns, both of them to Hawkins. He also threw 2 interceptions. Isaiah Crowell had a rushing touchdown. Your leading receiver in that game was Terrell Pryor, 6 grabs for 100 yards. Quincy Enunwa had the touchdown on the other side for the Jets. Brandon Marshall, Robbie Chosen. Starting quarterback for the Jets that day, Ryan Fitzpatrick gets it done for the Browns and the Jets this day, 2016. This day, 2012, Disney bought Lucasfilms, including all of the Star Wars and Indiana Jones movies and future franchise, for $4 billion. They basically buy Star Wars. I don't really have a commentary on it because I don't watch the new Star Wars movies.
Me neither.
But I would have to say, if you're a fan, Disney's purchase was great. You know, you get The Mandalorian and you got, you know, all these things, which is one of the things that I love about Star Wars, right? They have made backgrounds and whole histories of the people in the cantina. You know, it's like, trust me, it's one of the sayings of the show. Find your nerdism in life. Whatever you nerd out about, find it, embrace it, and love it. For me, it's Batman. Like, the Star Wars stuff has got to be great. Now it's got to be a great time to be a Star Wars fan, right? But isn't it also kind of jump the shark, run its course? Carrie Fisher's passed away. Harrison Ford, well, I don't know why they're still making Indiana Jones movies, but they are. Like, Mark Hamill probably doesn't have that many movies left. Like, they're trying to advance it, and I just feel like it's kind of stalled out. Maybe I'm misreading that. If you're a Star Wars fan, tell me different, but... Like, no, is The Mandalorian still huge? I don't know.
I'm not a big Star Wars person.
Yeah, but Disney, obviously a great venture for them. This day, 2012. Have you seen Wicked? No. It's opened in New York this day, 2003. The play. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't. I feel like it's one of those things you probably should go. Isn't there a new Oz movie coming out? Yeah, I think so. Right? Talk about a franchise here. Wizard. Turning into you, I can't type over.
Okay.
Actually, my computer is going really slow. I guess they're just making the movie Wicked because Ariana Grande's in it. That's why. It actually premieres next week. It's part of a 2-story movie. Of course it is. Wicked Part 2 comes out next year. It's from the Wicked Witch of the West and Galinda, the Good Witch of the North. It's basically them as kids, whereas as they start out as adults, and then they turn into who they are. Jeff Goldblum's in that. Not bad there. This day, 1974, Nolan Ryan threw the fastest pitch recorded at that time of just 100.9 miles per hour. Now you got these guys like Mason Miller, which every pitch he throws is 101 miles per hour. They said Bob Feller was on the deck of an aircraft carrier and threw a 104 mile per hour pitch. Now they were using a radar gun, like for a plane, so maybe it wasn't calibrated properly, but at this day, 1974, 100.9 miles per hour for Nolan Ryan. This day, 1954, the 24-second shot clock was used for the first time in professional basketball. Can you imagine if you didn't have that? You just played. So you stole the basketball. I know there's a big push for like high school, to adopt it and all that kind of stuff. I think they should, but 24-second shot clock use. Do you know about the War of the Worlds with Orson Welles? You ever read about that in school?
No.
So it happened this day, 1938. Okay. So set the time. All you had to listen was the radio, and they would do what's called serials. So you would listen every week. Like, instead of watching an episode, you would tune into the radio every week for, I don't think Superman was around yet, Batman wasn't around then, but it's like these serials, right? And then you would listen.
Like a podcast.
So it's kind of like a podcast, yeah, but there was no replay. You had to tune in every Tuesday night, that kind of stuff. So Orson Welles did the War of the Worlds. It was about an alien invasion. People thought it was real. He caused mass panic and hysteria. Because his radio serial of War of the Worlds, people listened to it. They thought we were actually being invaded by aliens. And he caused mass hysteria. This day, 1938. You can go back and listen to it. I think there's recordings of it somewhere, right? Hang on.
War of the Worlds.
He was reading the, not the, hang on. Not the, there's been 1,000 movies. Okay. It was a Halloween episode of the radio series Mercury Theater on the Air, directed and narrated by Orson Welles, and is an adaptation of H.G. Wells' novel, The War of the Worlds. It was performed and broadcast live at 8 p.m. Eastern on October 30th, 1938, over the CBS radio network. The episode is infamous for inciting panic by convincing some that the listening audience that a Martian invasion was taking place. The first half of Wells' broadcast had a breaking news style of storytelling, which, along with the lack of commercial interruptions, meant people believed that this was really happening. It was 60 minutes. It ran for 60 minutes of the broadcast. Widespread outrage was expressed after the program's news bulletin format was described as deceptive by some, leading to an outcry and calls for regulation by the FCC. We got in trouble. This is my prior spot. We played the EAS tone one time. We got in trouble for that.
I'm sure.
Because you can't fake that. It's got to be real.
Whose idea was that?
Not mine, but
that wasn't very bright.
If you had to guess who you think it was. And listen, I don't talk about this a lot often. I still have a lot of love for all my former employers. I don't want to say my employer. But they're all my friends. Literally, everybody over there I love to death. So this is not a shot at anybody. I get along with all those people.
That's the same principle of being out in a boat and shooting a flare.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do it.
Yeah.
Who do you think did it? If you had to guess.
Rizzo?
No, it wasn't Rizzo.
Aaron?
Yeah, it was Aaron.
Yeah. It was one of the two. It was one of the two.
Aaron had an idea. I can't remember, and I'm sure he'd laugh about it now. It's not a big deal. I love Aaron. I really did. And it was an idea of like, Riz was going to talk about something. It might have been he was going to tell the coquinus story. And then Aaron interrupted him with the EAS test. And then we got... So the other thing you got to remember, the FCC, it only happens when somebody reports you.
Right.
So somebody reported it that we were messing around with the EAS signal and we got in trouble. So, same thing. Kind of happens with the War of the World. So, Aaron was on his Orson Welles that day. I don't know what to tell you. It's kind of what it is. We head back to this day, 1919. Baseball called for the outlaw of the spitball. What was worse, spider tack or spitball? I have no idea. I don't even know how to throw a spitball.
Should you spit on it?
No, I think there's something about the curve. It was hitting a bunch of people. I don't know. This day, 1873, P.T. Barnum debuted The Greatest Show on Earth. As, all those side things. I was thinking of the movie Ants or Bugs. Was it Bugs Life? Is that it?
Why does that remind you of that?
Because they had a sideshow thing that they were like going through town on.
Oh,
I remember
I thought
that.
of The Greatest Showman.
Man, Greatest Showman. That could be it too. Very happy birthday goes out to Ty Detmer, wrestler Edge, Marcus Mariota, Devin Booker, the great Mr. Henry Winkler, and Gavin Rossdale, all celebrating birthdays today. Just one movie for you today. I didn't know how you would... I'm not saying I doubt you on this one, but we'll see. This movie came out in 1998 as an American crime drama. It stars... do you want the actors? I don't know if it really hurts or helps you.
Sure.
All right, Edward Norton, and then Edward Furlong, who was most known from Terminator 2.
American X.
That is correct. American History X. Wow.
Yeah, quit playing with me.
Wow.
When he curb
Dude, that's the wow. I didn't want to say that. I knew you wanted to use my tip, but like, bro. Two brothers from Los Angeles who were involved in white power skinhead neo-Nazi movements.
Put
Good
your teeth
Lord.
on the put your teeth on the curb.
Did you see Robert Whitaker from this weekend? He got face cranked. His bottom teeth got...
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah.
Jaw deleted.
Ugh. Did not have a good night at the fight.
He goes to prison, comes out, and realizes that his brother is the same way and tries to help him.
Yeah. Yep. He's rehabilitated. So again, the older brother Norton goes to prison. He's rehabilitated and tries to...
Right?
What's that?
They're neo-Nazis,
They're
right?
neo-Nazis. Yeah, they're neo-Nazis. Norton goes to prison, rehabilitates, and he tries to keep his brother from being indoctrinated by his parents, which is kind of how that goes. But yeah, American History X, this day 1998. Well done. I'm sorry. I take that back.
Yeah,
I was kind of sleeping on you there a little bit. We'll see how it goes. I'm not sleeping on the cast. Let's go. All right. 5.
Yes.
Buddy. 5. Let's run through the Lakers' 4 games thus far. They beat Minnesota 110-1. This is just for the over-under, 223. So they beat Minnesota 110-103. Then they beat Phoenix 123-116. They beat Sacramento 131-127. They beat Phoenix 109-105. So just quick looking at that, you kind of like the over for tonight, right? But they did have to travel yesterday from Phoenix. Not an easy trip to make. Odd Shark. You know, they run the computer simulations.
Yeah.
They like a 118-109 win for the Cavs. So not only would they win and cover, but the over would easily hit in this one as well.
Wow.
This season, Lakers are averaging 118 per game. Cavs are averaging 124.5. Lakers are 7-3 in their last 10 against the Cavs. The over-under last 10 games between the two are just 4-6 on the over. Cavs 4-0, as we know. Lakers 3-1. The Lakers are 5-2 against the spread their last 7 games against Cleveland.
I'm telling you, Mobley's hitting a 3.
Cavs have covered in all 4 of their games. Over has hit 4 out of their last 6. Over has hit Cavs 8 out of their last 10 games at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse against the Lakers. So when LeBron comes to town, he scores.
Yeah, he just pulls up from half court.
I know.
He's so funny when he does that.
He's so good, though. All right, here we go. Over 225. You like it?
225, 112.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Overs have been costing us, though. I don't like it, but here we are. All right, LeBron to score 20. Right? He's averaging 20.
Yeah, I mean,
he's going to get shots, okay? Anthony Davis has got to score 15 tonight, right?
If they want any chance of winning.
I like Mobley. Do you like him for 20 tonight?
I just told you what I like him. 1-3,
All right, 1-3. 3 made.
He's going to see Anthony Davis shooting. He's going to be like,
dude,
I'm
that,
trying to do that.
Okay. Oh, no, not 2. Not 2.
No, do 3.
No, don't do that. I got a 4-leg of over 225, LeBron 20, AD 15, and Evan Mobley 3 plus 400. I said I wanted to get away from these 4 or 5, these 6-leg ones. Give me one more. Cavs win?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think they'll win.
Okay. It gets me to plus 700. I can boost it. Dollar wins me 9. Wins me $10.
Put 40 on it.
No. We got to recoup some a little bit, buddy. I had a rough end to the baseball season. We'll just put it that way. All right, you like that? Over 225, LeBron 20. I didn't do like Donovan. I should have just boosted like Donovan plus 15 or something. Right?
Dude, I don't know. I like what you have.
Well, and the other thing, once I cash it out, I don't get the boost anymore.
Yeah,
So.
I've made that mistake.
All right, over 225, LeBron 20, AD 15, Mobley 3, and money line for the Cavs. Done and done. That's how we go. All right, done and done. Finally, as we mentioned, time for the bracket blowout.
Yeah, it wasn't even close.
Blowouts for the best Halloween candy. What do we got?
Reese's 80%. Yeah. Kit Kat
Frozen
64%.
Reese's. Frozen Reese's, frozen Kit Kats, where it's at. Groups 3 and 4 tonight, please, Ryan.
Yeah, Group 3, Snickers, Skittles, Almond Joy, Payday. Group 4, Butterfinger, Twix, Starburst.
You put Butterfinger with
And
Twix?
candy
What
corn.
did you do that for?
Dude, somebody had to go down.
Why?
Somebody had to go down.
Twix. Twix is goated. And I love Butterfinger. What was Group 3 again?
Snickers, Skittles, Almond Joy, Payday.
Skilled. And Payday is good. Almond Joy is
Skittles?
trash.
Did
Almond
you
Joy
just say
trash.
Skittles?
Yeah. There's nothing like there's chocolate. There's nothing like Skittles.
I'm going
There's
Snickers.
nothing like just Skittles.
Snickers and Butterfinger.
I'm gonna go Twix and Skittles. We'll differ on that. Vote on that at Matt Fontana Show. Drop his file there and get it done. Enjoy the Cavs game tonight.
Yeah,
enjoy that because I love these kind of games. I love being able to get home and see be ready to go for a game tonight. It's gonna be fun. Welcoming LeBron back. Is it 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock tonight? 7 o'clock.
Yes.
It is 7. I'm looking at it. Yeah. $91 get you in the door. You don't want to go?
I would, but I'm not sitting nosebleed.
We'll get you down there. Just put on the company ticket. That's where it is. Standing room, I can get you in for 108. Yeah, these tickets are expensive. Woo! You want to get courtside, 472. 472. There you go. All right, enjoy the game tonight. Welcome back to LeBron and crew. We'll talk to you on a Thursday edition. For Ryan Tyler, I'm Matt Fontana. And it's Wednesday, Drennan.
Yes.
Drennan tonight, and that's it. That's all we got for Drennan.
Yes.
Basketball show announcement tomorrow?
Should be.
We got a new show coming. Yeah. A relative new show for the basketball season. So that's coming up tomorrow. So we'll make that announcement on a Thursday edition. We'll talk to you then. For Ryan Tyler, I'm Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.